Hey, thanks for tuning in. In this video, I'm going to talk about tattoos for the dead in the Torah. The commands of Leviticus 19:27 through 28 are generally looked at together, and as a result, they are treated as connected. This makes sense because the Hebrew does separate them from the commands immediately before and after. The first command in verse 27 does not start with the Hebrew equivalent of "and," whereas the three commands following it do. So these four commands are effectively grouped together for a reason. However, we must note that the reason is not explicitly stated. One common teaching about this passage is that all of these commands are referring to the dead. The reason this is claimed is because many of them look like certain types of mourning rituals done by other cultures, or otherwise rituals that supposedly protect against the spirits of the dead. But we could look at it from a different angle. That an undeniable common thread through all of these commands is that all four of them are about our bodies. This is a group of commands about our bodies, and this final command does not say anything about the dead. A word-for-word translation of Leviticus 19:28 reads, "And cutting for a vitality you shall not give in your flesh, and writing of tattooing you shall not give in you. I am Yahuwah." The verse begins with referring to cutting for a vitality, usually understood as the dead. Then in the next command, we have writing of tattooing you shall not give in you. A writing or a marking of tattooing is prohibited. This command itself does not refer to a vitality or the dead, and it doesn't refer to the reason why the mark is being put on us. This is a command about our bodies, and we're not giving or placing this in us. As we can see, while the third command in this passage of four commands does refer to a vitality or a soul, none of the other three mention such a thing. We simply have that we are not supposed to give this writing or marking of tattooing in us. Exceptions are not provided in that wording. One question that might arise is what to do if we already have tattoos. Obviously, not everyone has been observing from childhood, and probably none of us either have believed or currently believe 100% correctly about every single command in the Torah. So as a result, someone might have gotten a tattoo in the past. The first thing I would point out is that just because someone has a tattoo right now does not mean they are actively violating the commands. And likewise, we do not see a requirement to remove them. That is not one of the commands. It is reasonable that we might want to conceal a tattoo or to have it removed because we may not want people to get the wrong idea about the commands or about our observance of them now. This is something that we may consider as a personal desire, and that personal desire may have some legitimate consequences to it. But the most important issue is that we are following the commands. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out my other two videos on this passage, such as the beard command and the rounding the corners of the head. The links are in the description box. Thanks for watching, and remember the commands. Shalom.